Alright guys, we're going to do long division with polynomials, but I want to compare it with long division with regular numbers. And so the first thing you're going to do is you're going to write down 1,573 and you're going to divide that by 13. And these numbers are related to what we're going to do. You might notice that. But go ahead and take a minute to do that first. Okay, now that you guys took a look at that, let me do it really quick. Let's see, we get... it's 1 times 13, and then I subtract, right? Yes. And I get 2, and I should get a number that's less than whatever is right there. Okay, so then I go, I bring down the 7, and I multiply it by 2 because I get 26, and I subtract. So you always find a number, you multiply, then you subtract. We're going to remember that pattern because that's what we're going to do when we do the polynomial one. So 1 times 13 gives me 13, and I get a remainder of 0. Yeah! Okay. Awesome smiley paid a visit because we got a 0 remainder. We're always happy when we get a 0 remainder. Now, while there are different ways to do this or different ways to look at it, I'm going to do it this way because it's the best way I think I know how to teach a bunch of students at the same time how to do it. But if you find shortcuts, use them. Okay? That's mathematical. So good job for you if you figure it out. All right. So, when we do this, we only look at the first terms. So this 3 right here, this plus 3 is kind of like along for the ride. You only look at the first terms. So I'm looking at x to the third and x. What times x will give me x to the third? Yeah, so if I go x squared, it'd be 1x squared, 1x squared. I have to multiply it times the x. I get x to the third. But now, this is the main reason why this one's different. After I multiply x squared times x, I also have to multiply it times a 3. So I get plus 3x squared. Right? That's what we did over here. After we find the number, we multiply it times the number out there, and then we write our results. Right? After we write our results, what do we do? No, what do we do after we wrote a result? What is that? We subtracted. Now this is where everybody messes up, okay? So pay close attention. This is where everybody messes up. If I'm subtracting, make sure you subtract both. Okay? It kind of looks like we're just changing the sign. All right? And then we add them together. So if I add 1x to the third plus negative x to the third, those cancel out, right? So those are gone. And then I add these dudes together. What do I get when I go 5 plus negative 3? I get dose. And x squared stays the same because it's kind of like combining like terms. You guys remember that? Okay. After I got, I subtracted right here, I got the 2. What did I do next? Brought down the 7. So what do we have to bring down right here? 7. Yeah, so we're going to bring down that 7x. So we have plus 7x. Always put the sign 2 because pretty soon we're going to have negatives in here. You got to bring down a negative. All right, so now you look at the first terms again. So now we repeat. We're going to do the same thing that we just did. What times this will give me 2x to the second power? 2, yeah, plus 2. And then we have to have an x, right? Because it would be times this. So 2 times the 1 is just going to be 2. So I'm going to write 2 right here. And then what is the x times the x? X squared. Okay. And then after that, charge. Okay, hold on. After that, we go 2x times 3. So that's 2 times 3, right? And so we get 6, and then we have the x, and it's a positive. So after we got, because we did that over here, we went 2 times 13, we got 26. And then after we get the number, what do we do after that? We subtract. So I'm going to change the signs. In this case, they both change to negative, and I'm going to add them up. That was a good question. I want to make a comment about that again. So when I'm multiplying this 2x to this x, don't forget you have to multiply it to the 3 also. It's kind of like, I'm doing this in my head. I'm not writing it all out. I'm going 2x times x plus 3. I'm going that times this whole thing. And so you have to multiply it to both of these. That's how I get this down here. And then I subtract, so I have to change the signs. And so let's see what I get after I do that. These cancel out like they should. They should always cancel out. And then we get 1x right there. Then I bring down my last term, which is a plus 3. In this case, look, it's the same. All snap. So, yeah, it's plus 1. So I go plus 1, and when I multiply it, I get the same thing. And don't forget, we're subtracting, so I'm going to change the signs. What do I get? I get 0. Yeah! That's an awesome smiley. Okay? We got zeros both times. And so that's my answer. My answer is x squared plus 2x plus 1. Boom shakalaka. Hey, you be quiet. Now, if you see an easier way to do it, do it. Okay? You might run into some speed bumps every now and then, but you can always come back to doing it this way to fix your shortcut.